Are you against animal abuse?
Yeah.
What do you think is the morally significant difference between us and animals that justifies doing that to them but not to us?
I don't know. There's a lot of cows. I don't know.
A lot of
I was
cows.
just grown.
So
raised that
if
way.
there was a lot of humans, it would be fine to do that to them.
No.
Don't push it. Don't
Well,
push it.
animals don't want to be murdered
Don't
either.
push it. Stop pushing. Stop pushing.
Don't push the animals to die, please. Yeah. What about you? You think it's okay to abuse animals and eat them?
I don't know, whatever you want. You don't need to.
Whatever you want. So if somebody wants to eat dogs, humans, whatever they want.
Videotape, nor do I want to be interviewed.
Animals don't want to be eaten either.
Hello. What do you think about animals?
I love animals.
Animals alive.
What do you ladies think about animal abuse?
No, we
hate it.
do not support it.
So what I ask you is I just want to go with a simple logic test to really see where you lie when it comes to your ethics and values. What trait or set of traits that is found in animals that because they possess those traits that therefore makes it okay for you to turn their bodies into a hamburger that humans lack?
I guess you're kind of trapping us in a little bit of backing us into a corner here, though. Like,
We have to go to dinner now.
I'm so sorry,
vegan
guys.
dinner. Make sure it's a vegan dinner.
Yeah, say no to animal abuse, ladies.
Maybe some other techniques you guys could use to communicate your message other than, like, it's intense.
Okay, so if we actually use those specific forms of communication, would you then go vegan? So if we were, let's say, nicer, and if we exactly, so that's just an excuse and that's a cop out.
How's it going? I'm here with my buddy Kimari, activist based on New York City. We're gonna go debate some girls at the beach right now. Let's go. Hey, how's it going, ladies? Are you against animal abuse?
Yeah.
You ladies are against animal abuse? That's good. Awesome, awesome. Do you guys, girls eat animals?
Yes.
Do you see any sort of ethical issue with that? With like saying you're against animal abuse, but like paying for it, basically?
Not if you eat ethically sourced produce.
And what would an example of ethically sourced be?
Like places that don't abuse the animals, like not Tyson chicken and stuff like that. I don't know.
What do you think about that? You think if it's ethically sourced, that is justified to like eat animals?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure about this. I don't know how to answer the question.
So let me ask you something. Would you be in favor of like paying for ethically sourced human meat or dog meat, for example? So let me ask you this: what do you think is the morally significant difference between us and animals that justifies doing that to them but not to us?
I don't know. There's a lot of cows. I don't know.
There's a lot of
I was
cows.
just grown.
So if
raised that way.
there was a lot of humans, it would be fine to do that to them.
No. No.
Yeah, that sounds like is that not the justification then?
Yeah.
What do you think, Kimari?
Do you think that there's a specific trait or set of traits that animals possess that because they possess those traits that therefore justifies inflicting that pain on them and turning their bodies into a sandwich?
I'm just broke, so I gotta eat cheap.
What do you think like the cheapest of the cheapest food available is? Like what do the poor of the poor usually eat? Like stuff like rice, beans, lentils, potatoes. Like is that stuff cheap?
Unhealthy food's cheap.
Well, is like rice, beans, lentils, potatoes. Is that unhealthy?
Yeah. That's healthy.
It is healthy, so that's vegan. So, like, if you were between those two options, going vegan and eating those healthy choices, or consuming human meat, what would you pick between those two choices?
I'd go vegetarian. Vegan. I was vegetarian for a while.
Do you know like what that happens on dairy industry, for example? You don't think vegetarians participate in animal abuse?
No, because I don't eat animals.
But do you know what happens in the dairy industry, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you consider that abuse? What happens in the dairy industry, egg industry?
No.
Do you think the animals in that industry are treated ethically?
Some.
Some?
Yeah.
And what would an example of that be? So how would they be treated ethically in that industry, the dairy industry?
Grass fed? I don't know.
Uncomfortable.
You know who's uncomfortable? The animals that they are paying to murder and eat. Well, I don't gotta move. Like, this is a public beach, okay? Well, ladies, I hope you reflect on your values and stop inflicting suffering on animals. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and for as long as you're not vegan, just know that animals have to be tortured because of your actions.
Don't push it. Don't
Well,
push it.
animals don't wanna be murdered either.
Push it.
Animals don't wanna be murdered either.
Don't
Pushing the
push it.
animals to die.
Stop pushing. Stop pushing.
Don't push the animals to die, please. Yeah, let's go. Let's move on to other people.
You didn't want us to film you, and you came literally on screen to be filmed. So don't come here to tell us what to do.
We'll go find more ethically minded people that are against animal abuse. You ladies started the conversation saying you're against animal abuse, but you support it. Okay, so let's continue.
Stop supporting the animals.
Hello, what do you think about animals?
Wait, is this being filmed?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna post it?
It's just YouTube.
Okay. I love animals.
Animals alive.
Oh hell yeah, I love that.
What about you guys?
What do you ladies think about animal abuse?
No, we
hate it.
do not support it.
So let me ask you, let's say somebody was horribly stabbing a dog right here, but the excuse was, I just want to eat it. I like the taste. What would you guys think about that?
No. What animals are you guys talking about otherwise, though?
Well, we're talking about usually the most common animals that people consume for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Any idea of what you think those animals could be? Aside from cats and dogs, of course.
And pork, chicken.
Pork,
Yeah.
cows.
Yeah, maybe.
You ladies consume them?
We consume them, but for a while we were vegetarian.
Yeah.
And our parents are as well.
Mm-hmm.
We try not to eat red meat.
Do you think vegetarians still like abuse animals? Have you ever heard what happens to the dairy industry, the egg industry, stuff like that?
Yeah, I watched the Twin Studies documentary on Netflix.
Or
Have you guys seen that?
Have you seen the Cowspiracy documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, that's like environmental stuff, health stuff. But right now we're talking about like ethics, like extending moral consideration to them. Like, for example, like personally, you guys would be like against paying for a human holocaust. Let's say we were doing this same sort of thing to humans instead of animals. Would you? No, but let's say we were like systematically breeding humans. Like let's say another race of humans. We were breeding them and turning them into sandwiches, and we had the options to go vegan or to pay for that. What would you ladies do?
We would, but also we have to think about how stubborn the majority of like people are. Like it's a lot easier for us to say that and then for us to actually act on it because like we're such in consumerism ways. Like in America especially or in the West, like people are so strung in on their beliefs they would rather
No worries, I love it.
they would rather not. They would
Do you
rather
want?
not. Do you want to hit
I don't
it?
know if I should incriminate myself on video. No worries.
I'm 21.
But thank you for the offer, though. But like, sure, like some people, like I'm talking specifically to you, ladies. According to your values, if you had the option of like paying for human meat or not doing that, eating something else, what would you do?
Not eat it. What she said.
Yeah, but you personally think it's okay to pay for animals to be killed and eat them?
I think that's a really complex question. I think that's hard to answer.
Well, to simplify it for you, let's look at it this way, right? Because there's a reason why a large majority of these animals, cows, chickens, pigs, and fish, are being consumed by humans. It's because of the way that humans view these.
I see right here. So.
Yeah.
Animals as expendable.
Yes, exactly. So what the thing is that humans are the ones that are assigning these moral values onto these non-human animals in the first place. So what I ask you is I just want to go with a simple logic test to really see where you lie when it comes to your ethics and values. What trait or set of traits that is found in animals that because they possess those traits that therefore makes it okay for you to turn their bodies into a hamburger that humans lack? Like what is it that's actually found in
They
animals?
can't communicate to us the same way.
The fact that they don't know that they're, like they don't know their sense of self. They don't have,
Consciousness.
yeah.
Can I ask you something? Like, would you say like all humans can communicate with you girls? All
What are you trying to do with this footage? I'm so.
No,
Are you gonna be?
we're just defending animals. We're just exploring your values.
Yeah.
We're
like
not
we
trying to be like the people on the internet
You don't
who
wanna
get
be, like,
shit on
edited and,
because
like,
No, like
into, like,
you,
oh,
you know,
clip this,
like
and,
veganism is like a super uncommon thing. So you,
but I totally support veganism. I think for me,
plant-based. So there's a difference between being plant-based and being vegan. When you're vegan,
But I'm just curious. I'm curious about something because you mentioned two traits. You mentioned being able to communicate with each other, and you mentioned being having a sense of self. Would you say that there's some marginal cases of humans that like can't communicate, or can communicate, but to the same degree like animals would? Like let's say like they can't use language, like, mentally disabled people. Yeah. Would you girls like be in favor of like holocausting mentally disabled? So that wouldn't. Would you see how? But do you girls see how that entails a logical contradiction? That wouldn't be the trait that justifies it.
I agree with that point. That's a super valid point. I think for me it was difficult because we're both at university and college, and for me I don't have control over as much of the food that I eat because I'm on a dining plan, which is one of the reasons why I do eat chicken and turkey, because I wasn't able to get enough nourishment just being a vegetarian at my
and
college.
also they just don't have very many options
So
that
that's
are
something
nutritious.
you guys should advocate more for, is that especially
College
in like
campuses.
more
I go
structured
to-
environments where people can't cook for themselves. Like I don't have a kitchen.
are you in college right now?
Yes.
So
We're seniors in
The
college.
organization that I work for full-time, Allied Scholars for Animal Protection, we actually work on these specific issues that you just mentioned, which is advocating for more plant-based and vegan options in dining halls. And we actually have chapters in the top universities on the planet. Big and massive shout out to ASAP, Allied Scholars for Animal Protection. That's the organization.
Shout out ASAP.
We have chapters in MIT, Harvard, the top Ivy League schools on the planet, and we work on these type of issues. I'm not.
I am a full-time graduate student. Yeah.
Do you do this as your job?
Yeah, so we work full time, and not only that, but we also do campus advocacy outreach events. So we go and we.
I'm
set
just
up
a surf
tables.
instructor, and I do activism as a hobby.
Yeah, we set up tables in these universities, and we advocate for people to go vegan. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we also advocate for more plant-based options in dining halls. And really, what we want to do is create systemic change within
really do
universities.
support that.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
support that.
Yeah.
I think for us it was more just about a lack of accessibility. I think also financially it can be hard when you're a college student and you don't have as much financial flexibility to shop.
Can I do something?
groceries.
when we would live at home, like our parents or whatever,
control that
we
a
could be
lot
like,
more,
okay, we're
yeah.
gonna base out our meals for the week and be able to like plan it and then buy ingredients that are plant-based, like butters that are plant-based, or not use eggs, or find other alternatives. But in the setting of a dining hall, it's a lot harder to do that, especially like living and not being able to easily cook.
So let me ask you something. Let's assume like yes, being vegan is a little more inconvenient, and it is, right? We live in a non-vegan world. Why wouldn't you ladies still see it as morally obligatory to be vegan? To be vegan? Why wouldn't you see it as a moral obligation to stop supporting this holocaust of animals?
I think for me it's like my personal choices, and although I would never promote that, like I guess you're kind of trapping us in a little bit of backing us into a corner here though. Like
Because I'm just failing to understand like what's the morally significant difference between like animals and us that justifies doing that to them but not to us. We just see them as innocent sentient beings that matter too. Like it's not at all justified to turn them into sandwiches when you can just eat something else. Even if it's a little more inconvenient, it is possible and it is cheap. Like the poor of the poor eat stuff like rice, beans, lentils, stuff like that.
Yeah.
In essential stuff,
You're highlighting a logical fallacy that we have stated. That's correct. And I think for me, I do still feel like there's a difference between disabled people and animals. I wouldn't say just because you can't communicate, like, I don't know, when you were making that comparison, like...
So there is a difference, right? They're different species.
Like, please don't.
But here's the thing. What we're trying to point out to you as vegans is that we as humans are different from non-human animals in the ways that don't matter. However, we're also similar in the ways that do matter. So just because we're different species, that doesn't really justify... Sorry?
Like, what are some of those ways that you're talking
Some of the ways that we're different. So obviously we're different in terms of communication.
We can't
right?
interbreed with each other with different species. we look different.
We
but
look
but
different. We
the things that
animals
matter.
communicate
All
different.
animals look different from each other.
Sure. Even humans have possess variability, right? But what are the things that do matter? One of them is sentience, right? The capacity for subjective experience, the capacity for suffering, for valuing their lives. Animals share that with us, like children do, like dogs do. That we wouldn't do that to dogs. So why do that to animals? I just don't understand. Like, if you like for example, lived in a crazy culture where you were college students, like all else equal, except like you had two options: to be vegan or to eat humans. What would you do?
In your
I would-
hypothetical
I would be
world.
vegan.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I think it's not that it maybe should or shouldn't be a moral obligation, but we're at the point in society where like the amount of sheer support and like popularity that goes towards certain food groups and food types and that consumerism mindset is going to be one that's really hard to change. And like, yes, I think we completely see your side, but like
Big dairy.
it's whether like we can as individuals be more important than these mass corporations that are like controlling
Honestly,
so much.
thanks for talking to us. I love that you guys are having these conversations. These
Yeah,
are
we
super
really
important
appreciate-
conversations
we
to
really
have.
appreciate it.
For me, it genuinely becomes like I will starve if I don't eat chicken. I think because I just can't cook. I
And
can't
I
cook for
think, like,
myself in
I
my
was
dining
able,
hall.
Like I was able to be vegetarian when I was in high school very easily, and I like was very serious
Yeah.
about that for many years.
There's
and
just not
our
option-
family
I go to
is one
school
that
in the middle of
is
Tennessee
very-
where
yeah.
they don't
And
support a
and I do
vegan
in
diet and they
Louisiana,
don't
like,
cook vegan
It's
alternatives.
just hard as a
So,
college student to be
let's-
able to do that and like still have the options you want to, nutritious wise and just like opportunity wise, like just availability.
So let's look at it this way: a pound of beans versus a pound of beef. Which one do you think is really going to be cheaper between the two? And keep in mind that we have over 20,000.
Like saying
just eat
I
beans.
like no.
Am I gonna eat
Well,
beans
I was
as
gonna
my
get to
meal?
that. Of course, I'm
I
not
mean,
saying.
like I would choose to eat beans over killing humans, and presumably you ladies too, right?
Yeah.
We just don't see a morally significant difference between humans and animals that justifies doing that to animals, and you ladies haven't been able to point one out either. Like it seems to me like
Me, I think humans haven't really demonstrated that they can have the same level of cognition as humans, like animals. Sorry.
Sure, but you did agree that there's marginal cases of humans that are mentally disabled and don't have that same level of cognition, have levels of cognition equal to that of like say cows or something.
I don't know. I don't know if disabled people have the same cognition as cows.
But let's say there were.
Let's say that
Let's say
was the case,
hypothetically.
That's something that we should also like be like hypothetical about because that's on. We can't be making that argument right now. if we don't
We're just
know.
testing your moral values here.
Yeah, but
Like,
like
let's say hypothetically, some scientist came here right now and told you, yeah, there's actually intellectually disabled people that have cognitive levels equal to that of cows. Would you ladies say then it would be fine to turn them into hamburgers, those humans?
I think that coupled with other aspects of being human, like the fact that they have all those other like emotional capacities too. I don't know. I think that's
Emotional capacities?
Yeah.
Let's say that also was to the same degree as cows. Like physically identical, but they had minds similar to that of a cow.
Okay. Wait.
We're just looking for a yes or no answer. Would it be ethical to Holocaust them for our hamburgers?
I don't understand why.
That entails another contradiction.
Then that's
Well, no,
contradiction.
sorry, like by Holocaust I just mean slaughter on a mass scale. That's the dictionary definition. Slaughter on a mass scale. You're slaughtering 80 billion land animals every year, trillions of sea life. That's technically a Holocaust, yeah. And you were gonna say something?
But holocausting isn't a verb. You can't say holocausting. Like you commit genocide. Like you
No, genocide is something else. Genocide is with the purpose of like eliminating a race of
mass
people.
Murdering then, but like I still don't really
Keep
enjoy.
in mind that the original word for the original meaning of the word Holocaust actually meant burnt animal sacrifice. So either way, the original meaning
Etymologically.
still was related to.
cultural meaning, and in this time, like in society, that's not something you should.
But there's been histo-
Hi.
Are we leaving for dinner soon? Yeah. Okay.
say that you ladies don't want to abuse animals anymore.
So we have to go to dinner now.
I'm so
Okay,
sorry,
vegan
guys.
dinner. Make sure it's a vegan dinner.
Yeah, say no to animal abuse, ladies.
Suggestion. I feel like there's maybe some other techniques you guys could use to communicate your message other than Like it's intense.
Okay, so if we actually use those specific forms of communication, would you then go vegan? So if we were, let's say, nicer, and if we exactly, so that's just an excuse and that's a cop out in order for you to actually gaslight.
Let me ask you this.
You guys approached us was just very aggressive, and you were trying to.
We're sorry. We didn't mean to scare you. We're not trying to be combative. No, we're just trying to defend animals. No?
People get defensive if you're gonna act like you should. If you're trying to spread this message, the way to do it is not in a way where you're trying to.
Can I ask you something? I'm curious about something. Let's say you ladies were the victims.
You should be more welcoming and try and embrace it.
But if you ladies were the victims, how would you want us to defend you? If you were those animals.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Well, how you ladies reflect on it? Stop abusing others, please. We hopefully.
Don't abuse animals.
Animals are others. Animals are others.
Animals are individuals. Yes, they are.
Anyway, man, that went a little. It started good. They got
Yeah.
really defensive at the end. Anyway, let's keep going.
Hello. What do you think about animals?
Oh, we're not interested, thank you.
You sure?
Yep, positive.
What about you? You seem a little bit more
No.
receptive, no?
What are you doing this
We just want to ask questions for you about animal ethics for YouTube.
Vegan?
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Why abuse others?
I like it. I'm not vegan, but I support it.
Okay, you're not being. Why wouldn't you see as a moral obligation to just not abuse others?
Why would I what?
Why wouldn't you see it as morally obligatory to go vegan and stop abusing others?
I'm not interested in answering questions.
What about you? You think it's okay to abuse animals and eat them, or you think it would be ideal to go vegan? What do you think?
I don't know. Whatever you want.
You don't need to.
Whatever you want. So if somebody wants to eat dogs, humans, whatever they
I
want.
don't want to be videotaped, nor do I want to be interviewed.
Animals don't want to be eaten either. Animals don't want to be holocausted and murdered. So we consider we're gonna respect you and leave, but we hope you reflect on this and respect animals by not murdering them.
I support. Thank you.
Take care.